Latvia, a small country in Europe, a Baltic country. It's part of NATO and part of the European Union, and it borders Russia. And they have decided that they want to deport many of the Russian speaking people who live in their country. So, yeah, they want to deport the elderly people. And recently, they have passed a law requiring all their citizens to take a Latvian language test. So, yeah, they want to get rid of the Russian speaking people because they don't want them in their country. So, this is kind of terrible. Yeah, I don't have any problem when a country like Latvia or any country says, let's have a national language. I think that's very good. And since Latvia people speak Latvian, it's very good that they want to have Latvian as their official language. It makes a lot of sense to me. However, they should respect their minority population. And there are many ethnic Russian people living within their borders. And yeah, it's okay. They should learn some Latvian so they can live in Latvia. However, there are always people who are elderly or disabled, and it may be very difficult for some of them to pass a test. So I think the Latvian government, they have to realize that, and they should respect their minorities as any other civilized country in the world. As we take a look around the world, we can see we can see who's doing what. So we can see some other countries that have done similar things like Latvia, the Z state. They come up to mind. Of course, the Z state, they are committing a genocide. They have put Gaza under siege, and every day they are bombing the infrastructure and hospitals and homes, mosques and churches. Yeah, they are keeping the people who live in Gaza under siege, can't get medicine in, can't get food, and people are very hungry. And that's if they haven't lost their home from the bombs raining down from the sky. So, also in the West Bank, we have a lot of similar things. We have raids and checkpoints everywhere. So, yeah, the Z state, they're trying to take more land. And we can also look at another country similar to Latvia and one of their nearby neighbors, Ukraine. They have tried to do very similar things, and they've had some NAZIs there. So, yeah, their president, Mr. Zelensky, he's always going around asking for money so he can keep doing his G-side against the minorities living in the Donbass. So, however, when we look around the world, we can see many countries that are also protecting their minorities, and many of them are Muslim countries, but there are also some that are not Muslim countries. So, yes, the Muslim countries, they've done a better job, it seems like, at protecting their minorities, but as well, many non Muslim countries. So, we could take a look at countries like Kazakhstan or Kyrgyzstan. They are Muslim majority countries. However, they have also protected the minority people living within their borders. So Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, they have their national languages, Kazakh or Kyrgyz. But when you go to those countries, you'll also see many people speak Russian, and there are also ethnic Russians living in those countries. So, yeah, they can communicate in Russian, and they don't have any problems. Yeah, just about everyone learns Kazakh in Kazakhstan or Kyrgyz in Kyrgyzstan. They're very similar languages, and they use Russian maybe as a commerce language or when they're dealing with other people who are from other countries nearby. So many people also speak English in those countries. And you also see many learning Turkish because it's very similar to their local language. Even some people learn Arabic. So they are very multilingual countries, and they seem to be doing just fine. So we can check out some other countries. Russia, for example. You can go to many republics in Russia, like Bashkortostan or Chechnya. There are many. Borutia. They have different languages. So, yes, everybody again speaks Russian because they are Russian citizens. However, there are many minorities. And when you go to these parts of Russia, you will see many signs in two languages. And most people are bilingual. And again, they don't seem to have any problems. So, it seems to be working out. So, we can go across to Malaysia, and there's another Muslim country. And Malaysia, the official language is Bahasa Melayu. Yep, the Malaysian language. They have their own language. However, many people in Malaysia speak Chinese as their native language. And when you go to Malaysia, you'll see a lot of signs in Chinese. You'll see many people who speak Chinese. You'll see lots of Chinese restaurants, Chinese shops. So you can get around speaking Chinese and English because most Malaysian people, they also learn English. So most of people in Malaysia are bilingual or even trilingual. And of course, there are some who learn other languages too. If you go to Thailand, the official language of Thailand, it is Thai. So Thai people, they really love their language and their culture. So that's very good for them. So, however, in Thailand, there are many minorities, and many of the minorities, such as in southern Thailand, most people speak Malay. They are Malay people. So when they're at home or even with each other, they speak in Malay. And you can see a lot of social media in southern Thailand that's written in Malay or in Malay and Thai both. So yeah, it's very interesting. There are also many Burmese people living in places like Chiang Mai or Mae Sot. And yeah, they speak Burmese languages. So there are several. Myanmar is also a very multilingual country. So yeah, also in Chiang Mai, like in Malaysia, there are many Chinese people. So you can also see signs in Chinese as well as in the Burmese languages. So Thailand is also very multilingual. And in Thailand, there seems to be, again, no problems. They're getting along just fine. So, yeah, maybe some of these Western countries, like Latvia, they can take a look at some of these other countries that we just mentioned. And if they want an example from Europe, well, then they should look at Switzerland. Switzerland is a neutral country, and they have 4 official languages. So, Swiss people, they learn many different languages, and they can communicate just fine, and they seem to have some advantages for being multilingual. So we would suggest to Latvia and also to the Z state and to Ukraine to look at some of the other countries that are around you and see how they handle their problems because they're doing a better job. And yes, it does seem like that Muslim countries and also a lot of non-Muslim countries, they have figured out how it works out and they don't seem to have any problems.